There is new fallout of the controversy surrounding Planned Parenthood and allegations that it is selling body parts of unborn babies. The second video surfacing over several days, apparently showing a top executive negotiating the price of baby parts.
What would you expect for intact tissue? What sort of compensation? What sort of...
Well, why don't you start by telling me what you're used to paying?
Okay. I don't think so. I would like to know what would make you happy. What would work for you?
Well, you know, in negotiations, the person who throws out the figure first is at a loss, right? So.
No, I don't look at it that way. I know you want to play that game. I get it, but no, I want.
Wow. Julie Rodzinski is a Fox News contributor and a political advisor to late New Jersey Senator Frank Lautenberg. Michael Needham's the CEO of Heritage Action for America, and we welcome both of you to this. And disturbing to say the least. Second video now over 5 days, Michael. If you recall from last week, it was a similar scenario where Planned Parenthood came out and had to distance itself from that employee. What are we to make of this now with a second individual?
It's disgusting. I mean, she's literally haggling over the price of baby body parts, and she says later in the video because she wants to buy a Lamborghini. Look, this is going to cause a lot of pro-choice people to rethink their views. It's something that's going to say this is not what I signed up for. It's not just this one video, as you mentioned. There's a second Planned Parenthood executive last week that came out, and it goes back to what happened at Gosnell a couple years ago with people literally snipping the spines of babies after they're delivered. It's something that comes from a culture that says that life is not intrinsically valuable, and I think you're going to have a lot of people looking at this and saying, you know what, I can't be on board this. We've got to rethink what we're doing as a nation.
This second video, it's only been out 90 minutes. Julie, what are you to make of it?
Well, I'd like to see the full video, and I'd like to see the context that it's in. If, in fact, it is what it appears to be, it is illegal and therefore obviously wrong. But again, I think I want to reserve judgment on it until I see what's going on.
What did you think of last week, then?
Well, last week, look, I mean, Planned Parenthood came out and denied that they actually sell. There's two issues here, right? One is the selling of fetal tissue, which is illegal. And Planned Parenthood said they don't engage in the selling of fetal tissue. And the second is the actual issue of using fetal tissue for research purposes, which, if you do that with the consent of the woman from whom you derive the fetal tissue, I actually support it. And look, and not just me, but a lot of people who otherwise are pro-life support it. It has helped cure issues, whether it's a polio vaccine or the measles vaccine. They're working on spinal cord research right now using fetal tissue. They're working on Parkinson's and Alzheimer's cures. So this is something that's going to ultimately save a lot of lives. I support the practice.
Back to the issue today, though. Planned Parenthood felt so strongly they had to come out and distance themselves from the individual last week. And they did not feel this was an issue they could run away from, Julie.
No, it's not. I mean, this is not an issue they could run away from. Again, Planned Parenthood came out in a video. Cecile Richards, the president of Planned Parenthood, came out in a video and said very emphatically that, in fact, they do not sell fetal tissue. It is legal for them to donate fetal tissue to other companies.
What will the organization say now, then?
I have no idea what they're going to say. I can only speak for myself. I would like to see the full video. I'd like to see the context that it was in. If it appears to be what we just saw, it is illegal and clearly wrong, and they should condemn it, as do I. But
Michael,
if it's not,
and
then
Bill,
not.
It's not just what Planned Parenthood is going to do. It's what all of us are going to do. So federal tax dollars go to Planned Parenthood. That is outrageous. There's no reason that taxpayer dollars should be funneled to an organization that's this controversial. People should know that companies like Olive Garden, Red Lobster, when you're dying there, those are companies that give money to Planned Parenthood. People should know that Democrat members of Congress have received money from Planned Parenthood. Richard Hanna, a Republican from New York, has received money from Planned Parenthood. He should be required to give that back. We all have a moral responsibility to stand up in light of what's going on. That starts with the Congress, that starts with members of Congress who have received funds, and that stands with corporate America, which gives money to Planned Parenthood.
Is there enough support in Congress to defund that, Michael, right now? Yes
absolutely.
Or no?
You will absolutely see this September that the Congress is going to defund Planned Parenthood. It doesn't even matter what you think. If you're on the pro-Planned Parenthood side or whether you're somebody who respects the intrinsic value of life, there is no reason that we should have the type of cultural cronyism that goes on where politicians and bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. choose to funnel our tax dollars to these types of controversial organizations.
I'm out of time. This topic is going to continue, unfortunately, and we'll see what the response is from the organization at some point, we would assume, later today. Julie, thank you. Michael, thanks to you as well. 36 minutes past the hour.